Yo guys, namaskaram. So usually I don't share a lot about my personal life and things like that. The reason being because I just like to keep things different. But there was like something that had been bothering me lately, and I thought maybe just sharing it with you all probably just can help one with a perspective. So for this video, I have written my thoughts down and I'll try to get at it. But you might have read the title that Why Veganism, Why I Turned to It. So before starting, I just wanted to start with basically helping me understand that what is it that religion, the true meaning of religion comes to at. Because a lot of beliefs that we have is because of, let's say, sometimes distorted cultural vested interests of the society around, which is being cloaked as religion, and then we just lose sight of what is it that really means to be, let's say, quote unquote, a true religious person, if I can use the word. So before starting, I would like to just use this book. It's called Flashes from Swami Vivekanand, and herein he has these small snippets. He says that religion gives you nothing new. It only takes off obstacles and let you see yourself. Another one is truth must have no compromise. And in tandem to this, I would like to read this that truth does not pay homage to any society, ancient or modern. Society has to pay homage to truth or die. Religion is not in doctrines and dogmas, not in intellectual argumentation. It is being and becoming. It is realization. This one quote again that throughout the history of mankind, if any motive power has been more potent than another in the lives of all great men and women, it is that of faith in themselves. So I think just kind of reading all of this, I started questioning a lot of things that in a country where we worship the cow, milk flows like devotion, but the calf goes thirsty. We light lamps in temples for compassion, and at lunch we burn life on our plates. A few months ago, I realized that I was living this contradiction every single day. This is, you can say, a story of how I stopped my cruelty on animals, the lifeless animals. I grew up believing that food was culture, not a choice. You know, those paneers on Fridays, milkshakes, ghee on rotis, more lavish food, sometimes also eating non veg. So I was not a very heavy consumer of non veg, but it was more like maybe once every 6 months or 8 months, and that was like a comfort. I was living with this hypocrisy that I do all these yoga practices on the side. All things are going well, reading the right values about compassion and all of that. But no sooner I realized that how blatantly of a hypocrite I was. I never questioned my food choices. Everyone around me did the same. Then during my spiritual studies, when I started reading a lot about the scriptures, about the Gita, maybe sometimes a lot of quote unquote contemporary gurus to somewhat level. There was this question that kept echoing in my mind. If awareness is your goal, can your meal come from ignorance? That line hit me deeper than any diet plan or any values under which I was hiding could. So what had happened? I started noticing what I had ignored, all the videos about cruelty of the dairy industry, the meat industry. I even made a music video in like as an apology to those animals. Though I'm sure uh, they won't get the cruelty that I might have done on them due to my taste buds, let's say those vegetarian paneers and all of that, in my unconsciousness, in my ignorance. Watching those videos, seeing the terrified eyes of animals in trucks, mother cow whose milk was mine because her calf was taken. I valued my taste over their suffering. Let's say if I'm going to a restaurant, the smell of blood behind those restaurants, the fresh chicken pieces and things like that. For the first time, taste felt small, truth felt huge. I wasn't angry, I was ashamed. So, this whole veganism, it was not something that was coming as an act of rebellion, but just from simple common sense, just from aligning on the true values that our scriptures propound, like having non-violence at the center towards every life form. At first, it was hard. Uh, my family joked. My friends even started saying that, why are you eating plants? They also have feelings, like all those bullshit logics. Because if you read the science and literature on it, you'll see how much of a bigger part you are of the problem. Like the non-vegetarians and vegetarians kind of go hand in hand. So there's a documentary recently called Maa Ka Doodh. I'll link it in the description. But that goes in detail as to how both of them are kind of supporting each other. But during this time, every resistance that they had towards me only confirmed that how deep their ignorance runs. Eventually, I ended up converting eight of my people, my family and close friends, into vegans. Dropped everything that requires milk, because those haunting images of those cows screaming always come back to my mind. Trying to replace it with say more vegan alternatives, sometimes almond milk, tofus, and just carrying vegan snacks all around. And even if one is going out, just having Chinese only, because that's quote unquote not using any milk products and things like that. So after a month, my body felt lighter. But the most important thing was I felt that sense of not feeling guilty about the pain that I was inflicting. So there's this quote from the Gita. It says that, and I'll butcher the Sanskrit, but it says, Ahimsa paramo dharma. Non-violence is the highest duty. But it isn't a slogan, I feel. It's a daily practice. Not living like a hypocrite. If I talk about compassion, yet fund cruelty through my taste buds, through those snacks, through those outings, I create that conflict within. Whatever I've understood through my limited understanding, that karma basically means action, and it does not wait for tomorrow. It is paid with every bite. So when I stopped consuming violence, my mind just felt more calmer, peace, or these ideas of finding something on the outside. They're just ideas now. It feels more aligned. There are like a lot of concerns. A lot of people keep on asking me about health, protein, and all of that. To be honest, doesn't matter, because the animals where they get their protein from is from plants. I just go directly at it. Just clean food for the body, no suffering. Even when you read the scientific literature, it's slowly catching up. Lower cholesterol, better digestion, maybe for some clearer skin is a priority, it helps with that. But these are just tertiary benefits for me. Sometimes it's just being conscious about the animals, the other life forms that I share this planet with. The biggest change are not these physical changes, it's psychological. You stop being at war with your own conscience. Sometimes I still walk past butcher shops and remember that told me I don't feel superior, but grateful now, because this awareness, it's a gift that has come. And once you become aware, you cannot unsee. Like truth is something that's very hard to not live by. Veganism, like a lot of people like to bash upon it. It isn't perfection. It's a direction to live in a more conscious way, and just be a little more compassionate. It's not about becoming this whole pure being claiming superiority upon others, people who are indulging in such choices. I think it's an individual heart to heart connection that one needs to build with other people. Because let's say if I'm violent on one life form, how can I be truly compassionate in all my relationships? Let's say if people have their life partners, love partners, how can they be truly compassionate when they're violent on this one end? I think the being like to just live as this one person instead of being like so many different personalities. I think if humanity can put a man on moon, and a lot of things that we have done, we can surely eat without killing the voiceless. So this is just a message that look at your plate tonight. Ask this one question, that did something suffer so I could feel full in my heart, in my stomach, in my taste? If the answer is yes, maybe it's time to change. You don't have to call yourself a vegan, but just start with this one choice. Maybe skipping milk for a week, experimenting, cooking a plant meal, reading those labels, not consuming any quote unquote milk products, because compassion is not this abstract philosophical thing. It's an action that we owe to this planet, because the planet is also compassionate towards us by helping us sustain our own lives, whether through air, through giving us these beautiful life forms across with its whole natural variety. So you might have heard that this body is like a temple. This temple can only be pure when the food that you're consuming is clean, the plate is clean. This is, to be honest, not about food. It's just about freedom, both yours and theirs, not being a slave to your compulsions. So this was one video. I think probably this has also become a core philosophy of mine, that a lot of this movement kind of needs work, and a lot of people are working towards it. A lot of beautiful initiatives are being taken. The choice that you make, it stays with your conscience, and probably just living a life of integrity, wherein sometimes it's just important to walk the talk, not to talk about compassion and all those big words and values loaded words, but just taking small minute steps and making truth your friend. So anyhow, yeah, I think this is a video. Do let me know what you feel about it. This was just something I wanted to share, but I think veganism leads to a more conscious planet in my understanding right now as a person. Let's see how beliefs change, but let me know anyhow how you feel about it. And until then, this is Debu Ki Dastak from Debu Ki Dastak signing off. Cheers, bye.